Welcome. My name is Terry Cobb, and I'm the registrar for Museum on Main Street. And I'm here today with the rest of the Museum on Main Street team to show you how to install the way we worked. Let me introduce you to Corey, Carol, Robbie, and Tiffany. We'll start by looking at the crates. The way we work comes in 12 crates. You'll see these crates lined up here behind me. How do we know which crate is which? We look at the side, and it says this is box 11 of 12. We're starting with crate number 11. And why is that? That's because first we need to plan our floor layout and how the exhibition will be planned in our space. You should have a set of installation instructions, so please follow along as we go through this installation. Now let's open the crate. Robbie, if you'll help me. There are locks on all four corners, and then we lift off the top and set it aside. Inside the crate, tray A has the floor layout sticks. The first thing we need to do is find the floor layout sticks for the first section, because that's the first section we're going to be putting together. So we dig through the box until we find a section that begins with the numbers 1. This is panel 1.5A. Using these sticks, we can lay this out on the floor, plan our whole layout in the space before we put any panels up. This will allow you to have correct spacing between panels and makes your installation much simpler. We look at the installation instructions and we'll see an overhead view, and from that we lay out our sticks to match with the numbers matching. If we lay out the floor layout sticks ahead of time, this allows us to plan our floor space, allowing 36 inches between each section for ADA regulations, and that way we can set the exhibit up, know it's correct, and never have to move it. Now that we've got the floor layout sticks all set out, our exhibition is all planned in our space, we're ready to start installing. So inside our crate we have the panels for this section as well as a connector tray. There's a connector tray for each section packed with the exhibition. It's a box like this, we open it up, and there's a Ziploc bag inside that has all the connectors we need for this section of the exhibition. Inside the crate, you'll notice that each panel has its own slot, and each slot is numbered with the number of that panel. To lift a panel out, always use 2 people. So we're going to start with panel 1.1 bottom. If you can read the numbers and the letters right side up, then that panel is that number. So in this case, 1.1A bottom means this side is side A. 1.1B bottom means this side is side B, because I can read that correctly from where I'm standing. Looking at our floor layout sticks and our instructions, the next panel we need is 1.2 bottom. Now we're ready for connectors, so we'll need a double foot. Always put all the feet on first, otherwise you won't be able to put the middle connector in. How do I know which connectors I'm using? I simply look at these elevations on our installation instructions, and there's photos of the connectors there. Section 1 is different in that it has a wing that comes off of panel 1.4. That is panel 1.5, and it uses these 90-degree connectors, which are different than all the rest of the connectors in the show. We need to put these on first before we attach panel 1.4, but it's very important to orient them the correct direction. Now let's add the wing and a 1.5 bottom. Now that we have the whole bottom layer set up, it's time to add the bottom and middle gears. They are packed in crate 12, trays A, B, and C. The bottom gear attaches with the Z-clip to the side of panel 1.4 bottom. We're now ready for the middle gear, which actually attaches here between the panels. Now we're ready to start with the top panels. So we'll start with panel 1.1 top. I'll hold this. Now let's go with panel 1.2 top. Make sure that you have somebody holding the top panels anytime you're setting them up. Let's add panel 1.3 top next. And panel 1.4 top. And last, put panel 1.5 top up with another 90-degree connector at the top. Now we finish off the gear by adding the top piece. There's a hub that goes through the center hole. Doesn't matter which way it goes, it just slides in and attaches with a magnet to the back panel. And last, we add the title panel. Now we add the header, panel 1.5 head. You'll probably need a step stool for this. There's still a credit panel and the video that goes on the back that are missing from this section, but we'll add them at the end when everything else is installed. Now let's move on to section 2. The bottom of section 2 is now up. There is a miner's hat that fits in the middle into two little prongs into the top of the panel. At this point, once the bottom is up, we can move it, but not after this point. To move it, make sure someone is holding each of the connectors and slide it gently across the floor. Now we build up the top level of section 2. Let's move on to section 3. The shelf for the section 3 case is packed in crate 5 with the panels. On the back side of it, it is marked 3.6A. That means this side goes towards 3.6. It just sets down into the hole and rests on these prongs on the side. Next we add the flip book and the union hat. All the objects for the section 3 case are packed in crate 12, tray D. They're all packed together in this one tray. Everything has a home, so very carefully lift each item out and we'll set it in the case. The objects for the section 5 case are scattered throughout the crates. Please check your installation instructions or the crate list for their locations. We can now go through and place all the extra items that need to be added to the show. Each pop-off is labeled on the back. We match this to the panel. So here's pop-off number 5, child labor, on the panel. We take this 45-degree cleat and hook it into this one and make sure that the Velcro grabs at the bottom. The audio box hangs from a slightly different kind of cleat. You have to lift it all the way over this groove to slide it into place. To get into the audio, to change the batteries, or to adjust the volume, simply unscrew the 4 screws that disconnect the back, and the back will pop off and you can change the batteries or change the volume. Wiggle it around a bit just to make sure it's really secure. There are 3 video units in this exhibition. They simply slide onto a cleat mounted to the panel. To manage the cords, we have a system of Velcro and cord covers that will run the power strip down the side of the panel. The last step for the installation is to install the banners, the banner bars, and the gear headers. The banners and the banner bars are packed in crate 10, tray C. These need to go on first. Thank you for watching this video. We're so excited that you're going to be hosting The Way We Worked. We can't wait to see it in your community.